Introduction to exponents. An exponent is a tiny number that sits to the right of the base, and the base can be a number or a variable or a combination. In this example, the base is 3 and the exponent is 2. So the exponent tells us how many times do we multiply the base times itself. So 3 to the second power means that we're going to multiply 3 times itself twice, or 3 times 3. Here's an example of an exponent. Our base is 8, and then our exponent is 3. So that's telling us to multiply the base times itself 3 times. 8 times 8 times 8 is 3, and that is the same thing as our exponent. And our base is 8. The important thing to remember about exponents is the exponent applies to the term that's directly below it. In this example, the 3 is directly above the x. So that means in this example, the exponent only applies to the x. So that means that x is the base and 4 is a coefficient. Here's another situation. In this example, the base is actually 4a. Anything within the parentheses is controlled by the exponent outside. So this means that the 2 in this example applies to the 4, which is the coefficient, as well as to a, which is the variable. So together our base is 4a. And we know that our exponent applies to the base. So that means our exponent is going to apply to the 4 and to the a, which means if we apply the exponent to 4, we have 4 to the second power times a to the second power. So we would have something that looks like this, 16a to the second power. Now we'll learn how to multiply exponents in the next video, but it's just important to know that when you have parentheses around the term 4a, that the exponent will apply to everything within the parenthesis. If there is no parenthesis, then the exponent only applies to the term which is directly below it. What do exponents mean? Well, remember at the beginning we said that an exponent tells us how many times that we're going to multiply the base by itself. So here we have the exponent 3 to the third. What that means is we're multiplying 3 times 3 times 3, or you're going to multiply the base times itself 3 times. So the exponent of 3 tells the base, multiply yourself 3 times, okay? So in this example, if you multiply 3 times 3 times 3 on your calculator, you would get 27, okay? This form is what we're going to refer to as being the expanded form. So the expanded form is going to show us multiplying the base however many times the exponent guides us to. So in this example, the exponent says multiply the base 3 times. So we have 1, 2, 3. Here's another example of an exponent. So what we have is 4 times 2 to the second power. Okay, that's the same as 4. This is the old-fashioned multiplication sign of x times 2 to the second power. So remember that the 2, the exponent, only applies to the 2 within parentheses. So this, in this example, is the base, okay? And this is the coefficient. And remember that the exponent only applies to the base. So the exponent only applies to the base. So in this example, if we write this out in expanded form, what we see is we have the 4, and then we see that we're multiplying the 2 by itself twice. 2 times 2. So we have 4 times 2 times 2, which is really 4 times 4, which is 16. Let's try expanded form with these examples. 3 to the 4th power. Our base is 3, our exponent is 4. The exponent applies to what's directly underneath. That means the exponent is going to apply to the 3. We're going to multiply 3 times itself 4 times. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. X to the 5th. The base is x. The exponent of 5 is going to apply to the base of x. So it means we're going to multiply x by itself 5 times. Two x to the third. Now we need to be cautious with this because the exponent 3 only applies to the x because the x is the base. Okay, so x is the base. Okay, so that means we're going to apply the base only to x. We're going to multiply times 2. 2 times x times x times x. 5x to the second. Now we have a different situation. Our base is everything within the parentheses. So that means that my exponent of 2 is going to apply to the 5 and to the x. So in my expanded form, I'm going to write 5 times 5 times x times x. What do we call standard form? Well, standard form is the form of writing a number like we've always known. For example, let's say we have 2 to the 3rd power. This is exponential form. Okay, there's a base with an exponent. Next, we can write expanded form, 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, so that is expanded. Then we can write in standard form what the product of 2 times 2 times 2 is. So we know that 2 times 2 is 4 and 4 times 2 is 8. So my standard form is just going to be the number 8. Okay, the same thing. What if we have 7 to the 2nd power? That means we're going to have 7 times 7 is going to be in my expanded form. My standard form will just be the product of 7 times 7, which is 49. Let's take these written in expanded form and write them in exponential form. So we have 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Remember that the base is being multiplied by itself 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So in exponential form, I would have 4 to the 4th power. In exponential form, in this example, I would have 2x to the 1, 2, 3, 3rd power. In this example, I have a base 5 and 5. So the base is multiplied by itself 2 times. So we've learned how to write exponents in 3 different ways. One is the standard form, which would be like the number 4. Okay? Then we would have the expanded form, 2 times 2. Then we would have the exponential form, which is the base raised to the number of times we multiply the base by itself. So in this example, we would have 2 to the 2nd. So 2 to the 2nd, 2 times 2, and 4 are all saying the same thing, but in different formats. In this example, we have a base, and the base has a negative number. The negative 5 is surrounded by parentheses, so that means that the exponent of 2 is applied to the negative 5, meaning that in expanded form, we have negative 5 times 5. And then in standard form, we just have the product of negative 5 times 5, which is positive 25. So remember, we had 2 negatives equaling a positive. So in this example, the base is inside the parentheses, so the exponent applies to negative 5. Summarize. What is an exponent? Well, an exponent tells the base how many times to multiply itself. So if we have something that looks like this, 3 to the 4th power, the base is 3 because the base is what's being multiplied over and over by itself 4 times. So in expanded form, 3 to the 4th would look like 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So an exponent tells the base how many times to multiply itself by itself. What?